The golden sun shone brightly over the Pride Lands as Kion and the Lion Guards set out on another day of adventure. The team was ready to protect their home and defend the circle of life. Out on patrol, they spotted trouble. Janja and his hyena gang were back, sneaking around and hunting where they didn't belong. Kion roared, "Get out of here, Janja!" The hyenas froze, caught red-handed. Janja tried to play innocent. Okay, see, we're leaving, happy now." Bunga puffed up his chest and waved a paw, and "Stay out." The hyenas ran off toward the outlands, tails between their legs. But as soon as they were out of sight, Janja turned around. "I want to go into the Pride Lands. We go into the Pride Lands." His gang looked nervous, but followed him anyway. High above, Ono, the keenest of sight, was already watching. He spotted Janja creeping back, and quickly flew off to warn Kion. Moments later, the hyenas came face to face with someone they hadn't expected. "Queen Janja," she said firmly, "what do you think you're doing in the Pride Lands?" The hyenas surrounded her, growling. "You ain't so tough all alone," Janja sneered, just as he leaped toward her. Kion heard the commotion and came running. "Get away from my mum!" he roared, and with a mighty blast, the sound echoed across the valley. The hyenas yelped and scattered in fear. Bertha roars. Power bounced off a cliff, rumbling louder and louder until the ground cracked open beneath Nala. "Mom!" Kion reached out and caught her paw just in time, pulling her to safety. Nala smiled, breathless. "Thank you, Kion." But when Kion looked around, his heart sank. The roar had caused massive damage to the land. The roar did all this, he whispered. Ono fluttered nearby, his head feathers blown clean off. "Oh no, my head's cold." Bunga tried not to laugh. Back at the Lion Guard's lair, Ono stared at his reflection. "My head looks so weird," Bunga grinned. "Don't worry, now you stand out." But Kion wasn't smiling. He couldn't stop thinking about what happened. On the wall, a painting of his great-uncle Scar stared back at him, the lion who once had the roar but used it for evil. Kion remembered his father's warning, never use the roar in anger. Just then, Zazu flew in. "Kion, a rock slide has trapped the giraffes from their watering hole." The guard jumped into action, except Ono, who was too embarrassed to show his bald head. "Come on, O. We need you," said Kion. With some encouragement, Ono joined in. When they arrived, Bunga had a wild idea. "Use the roar, Kion. Blow those rocks away." But Kion shook his head. "No, Bestie. If you move that big rock, the rest will fall." Bestie leaned in, pushed, and with a mighty shove, the rocks tumbled down, reopening the watering hole. "Water for everyone!" cheered Bunga as the giraffes happily drank. As they were leaving, they heard a cry. A baby klipspringer was stuck on a rock in the middle of the river. "Don't worry, little guy, we'll get you out," said Ono. Bunga shouted, "Just use the roar." But Kion hesitated. "No, we'll find another way." They pushed over a fallen tree to make a bridge, but it crumbled beneath them, splashing everyone into the water. Luckily, the baby klipspringer jumped to safety. Dripping wet, Bunga looked at Kion. "Why didn't you just use the roar?" Kion sighed. "I'm afraid I might hurt someone again." From the river, a dark figure smiled. It was Maku the crocodile. So Kion's afraid to use the roar. Interesting. That night, as Kion sat alone, a warm breeze swept through the cave. "Grandfather," he whispered. Mufasa's spirit appeared, glowing softly in the starlight. "Kion, why are you troubled?" Kion lowered his head. "The roar hurt my mum. What if I turn into Scar?" Mufasa's voice was calm. "You care for others, Kion. Scar never did. Trust your heart. Talk to your mother," and then he faded away. Meanwhile, Maku and his crocodiles attacked the floodplains, scaring all the animals away. "The floodplains belong to us now," Maku roared. Back at the lair, Bunga tried to cheer up Ono by decorating his bald head with flowers. "Perfect, you look unique." Before they could laugh, Bully rushed in. "Maku's taken over the floodplains." The guards sprang into action. They raced ahead while Ono found Kion Maku's attacking. He shouted and, "Don't mind the leaves on my head." Kion and Nala joined the team at the river. "Maku, the floodplains belong to everyone," Kion demanded. "We crocodiles keep what we take." Maku snarled, then two crocs lunged and grabbed Kion's eyes filled with fear and anger, but he remembered Mufasa's words. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and roared, not in anger, but in strength and courage. The mighty sound swept across the river, blasting the crocodiles away and freeing Nala. Next time I say go, Kion warned. You leave. The roar sent Maku and his gang flying through the air. Bunga laughed. That was unbelievable. Kion smiled, finally confident again. I just had to believe in myself. Nala nuzzled her son proudly. I've always believed in you. Ono flapped down beside them, grinning. Good news, my feathers are growing back. Just then, two egrets with bald heads landed nearby. Hey Ono, cool new style. Everyone burst out laughing as the sun dipped low over the Pride Lands, shining bright on the brave Lion Guard.